York's Revival, I'm in the building.
Let's
go.
Live with the Revival.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, y'all know what this is. Peace and blessings. It is your boy, Eli Rax, a.k.a. Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And I'm here with my brothers, man. You guys know who they are. And that's Mr. Glass half full of nets. Speed.
We nasty. We up 1-0. Let's go. Let's go, Mets.
Let's go. And I'm here with my brother, El Jefe, a.k.a. White Jersey, a.k.a. Blue Jersey, a.k.a. It's a rare condition. This day and age
to read any good news on the newspaper page.
Love a condition. Hey, of course.
Some people say
it's even hard. Come on, man.
Harder to find.
Come, let's go.
Well, there must be so
magic.
magic.
Let's keep going. It's boom, 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 boom.
But all I see.
Let's go.
Real
Right, we got personality.
everything.
Shout out to you. Yes, you, the revivalists in the chat. Please hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate all the support. As you can see, we're serenading you on this wonderful Tuesday here from the Family Matters theme song. Shout out to El Jefe. Made me feel young again watching that damn video. That was awesome. So I do appreciate that. But, man, let's go around the room, guys. How was your weekend? How was your week, man? I'm going to start with El Jefe on this one because I feel like I always start with Speed. So I'm going to start with El Jefe on this one. What's up?
Sunday was a little more peaceful, No, our fate was already determined going into Sunday, but good weekend. Not too much otherwise. I was so happy to do that Family Matters theme. I'm so happy whoever because my friend did. I think he commented on IG, so I texted him the Family Matters one. He's like, "That's the song. That's the one I was thinking of." And a lot of people said the same thing. So it's incredible how well it works because the end of the song, the Family Matters song, is the end of my video. It's like fucking perfectly timed. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I was like, man, where did that song come from? So I'm glad you explained that because I'm like, man, that shit was perfect. Like it hit everything perfectly, down to the waves, to the little kids going by, and you going, what the hell is that? Like it just hit perfect. And I'm just like, yo, man, Hefe's a fucking genius.
What's funny, those two little kids, and if no one knows what we're talking about, it's pinned to my Twitter profile right now. But there's two little kids that ride by in like tiny little motorbikes. I don't even know what to call those things. But I had the camera set up and they just rolled by. So I'm like, I got to use that somehow. So then I just added an extra reaction. Maybe subconsciously I was making a sitcom intro. I didn't really mean to, but after you put the Family Matters music on it,
it works.
Damn, is it perfect. Spiro, how you doing, big dog?
Doing good, guys. Doing good. Me and the wifey's anniversary on Saturday. So we went out.
Pause for that.
Got some. Thank you. Yeah, it was nice.
You got some what?
We got I
bet you did. I bet you did.
We got some drinks. I'm not gonna talk about what happened after drinks, but it was a good time. Let's just say that.
Better not to kill you.
We had a good time.
Did you go to a bougie dinner?
Yes, bougie dinner.
Did you eat out?
New spot downtown. Oh, wait, I don't know what to do with this here. Yeah. Okay. I ate food out. Yes.
Showstopper. That was a showstopper.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. He's trying to get me.
Anniversary. You got to go above and beyond.
Yeah. No. Oh, we ate out. We ate out. We had a great.
Oh, you're
great
sick.
Food.
You're sick.
Great food.
Oh, great food. Got it.
That's good. What type of food?
Yeah.
What food did you go to?
It was actually Middle Eastern. New spot downtown.
Right.
I'm a big fan. It was Aces. Got some drinks. Then we were about to go out afterwards, and we're like, bro, we're getting old for this shit.
Yeah.
Like it's too old. I'd rather just kick back and be comfortable, enjoy our time at home. And it was nice. Can't complain. But we're here.
That's where it's at, Speed. I respect it. And listen, man, before we get into the, of course, we got so much to get into, man. Like I said, guys, shout out to listen, we understand that the Giants is probably off, so everybody's going to be off and they're watching the debate. So anybody that's spending Tuesday with us, thank you so much. We do appreciate you guys. But let's talk about, man, the most quick thing here, of course, which is the most exciting because, Speed, you got really hyped. Like, we all had a day today. Like in our personal lives, we had a day. So when you came alive, it almost got me a little jolted there. I was ready to roll. But the Mets, man, how's the Mets doing? What's going on, brother? You guys in the playoffs,
dude? It was
after this year.
It's been a fucking whirlwind of the last 2 days for Mets fans. They had a stupid doubleheader because the MLB couldn't get their shit together. Hurricane came through last week, canceled the games. Everybody's season's done except for the Mets. Except we can't just forfeit the games because they have to win one to get in. So game one, down 3-0 all game long, looking like a typical Mets going to choke, in Atlanta against our nemesis. And just magic happens. Magic happens. Tyrone Taylor, 11 pitch at bat. We knock out their starter. We get to their bullpen right away. And then they go to work, dude. They put up 6 runs. 6 runs. Nemo hits a bomb. The Mets are up 6-3. I'm like, oh, this is looking good. We're in the playoffs. No. The Mets don't do anything easy. They don't do anything easy. So Edwin Diaz comes in. Nathan comes in first, lets up 2 runs. Edwin Diaz comes in, decides he doesn't want to cover first base. We don't do that on an important play. He lets up the lead. The Braves take the lead. Heartbroken again. I can't take this. Got punched. I'm going to puke. I was taking videos the whole time of my reactions, positive and negative.
I was living through you. That was I felt every. I thought you were almost crying at one point. Like
there was so many emotions.
The emotion was so real. But like that's why you fucking do it right there.
It's just it's an emotion, especially the Mets. I feel like it's an emotional roller coaster with these guys. You're up 1 second, you're down the other. So all hope looks like it's lost. They grind down another hit, and then our MVP. I don't care that Shohei Ohtani is going to win it. He's having a great offensive season. My MVP, Francisco Lindor, comes through and hits a 2-run home run in the top of the 9th to take the lead. And and Diaz, the guy who blows it, I'm like, who are we going to pitch next? Because everybody's burnt out. Diaz says, "You're not taking me out of this game. I'm going to fucking. I made this mess, and now it's my bed, and I'm going to fucking sleep in it." And he shut this motherfucker down, and the Mets went to the motherfucking playoffs, where they won today, game 1 in Milwaukee. Dude, it's just we're riding high. 8-4, no bullpen. We had nobody. Everybody's gassed. Everybody's tired after doubleheader tomorrow. They buck up, man, and everybody nuts up. They put they get the W in Milwaukee. Game 1, pitcher didn't have it. He grinded. Severino, he grinded. The Mets offense, they grinded. They just keep grinding, man. And here we are, 1-0 in the playoffs. Feeling great, baby.
Speed, I'm so happy for you. Genuinely happy.
I
do have to ask, and I'm happy for Lord Puffalot, who is a good friend of ours, who's a huge Mets fan. So I'm like,
we're talking on the side.
Good then. Barry Gooster, I couldn't watch the game. Spiro, what's up with that?
Oh God, I don't know why MLB blacked out that game. That doesn't make sense. ESPN2. Not in my area. We had it on ESPN, just regular. So that's brutal. Lindor, he got through. He's just getting through. The guy literally is fucking carrying this team on his bad back. His back's giving out. They're just grinding through this. And you gotta give him credit, man. He's like, after the game yesterday, he's just like, what you're like, what you ate this monster home run? What were you thinking? He's like, oh, that my back hurt, and I just like the first thing that out of his mouth is just pure exhaustion, and it doesn't matter because he dragged his team to the playoffs. Now we have a chance to beat Milwaukee, and then the Phillies are up next, and we're cooking with gas, boys. The offense looks good. Everybody's hitting, timely pitching. It just feels like a magical season right now, and that's what happens in New York sometimes. So
do you guys have
Yankees are sitting back?
Wins game 2.
Game 2 tomorrow, bro. Right back into it, man. It's no joke. It's a grind. But it's like you want to be pissed about the schedule and shit like that. But the Mets fans haven't been here in so long that we cherish. I cherish every second of this. Everything that happens right now feels like house money. So like I am just so happy to be here. And if we can win along the way, even better.
I'm so impressed that the Mets go from that, your season's over, or you live
on
to
the
see
edge.
another day, and like feeling that elation and getting over that. You got champagne, all of that stuff happening, and then what? Like immediately get on a flight to Milwaukee,
Right onto a plane.
and then win. Like while that
It's
team was
wild,
like
bro.
feet up on the couch just watching that game last night.
It's crazy.
Seriously
It's
impressed
crazy.
by that, and I hope you have a run in you. I hope the Mets go.
Dude, it's like one of those times where it feels like something special is going on. Like even on the plane, like you said, like Nimmo was saying to everybody, like, "Hey, don't get too drunk. We got a fucking playoff game literally tomorrow." Like they couldn't
And
even
then
enjoy
the
it.
day
Insane.
after,
Insane. Like you gotta love that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it kind of gives you that New York spark. Like I said, I'm happy
Yes.
for you because we're me and Smith, half for Yankees fans, right? So we're like,
Hey, you're in the playoffs too.
we expect this. It was something we're used to, but for the Mets, it's just magical. Like you kind of feel
We're
it. Kind of
building
feels like
something.
that 2007 Giant-ish, right? To the
Yeah.
viewership here. Like it just feels special. Like these guys starting off the season the way they did, where it was just like, man, it's gonna be the same old Mets every year. To them going to the playoffs by the skin of their teeth and actually winning the game. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for Mets fans, man. Like this is just freaking, just to hear your emotion.
Yeah.
Dude, like them winning, like almost the tears flowing. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yo, that's where it's at, man. I'm like, man, I'm happy for my guy. I'm happy for my brother, man.
If not for Spiro keeping us posted all along, right? Like months ago, Spiro was devastated when the season began. But then, a month or two later, he'd say something like, "Don't look now. The Mets are only 16 games below 500, and they're climbing."
Yeah,
and then
and
they were the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah.
After the break?
For a long time, dude. Literally a long time. Since June, they were the best. Like this wasn't a small sample size. Like once they got to June, they were the best team. Sorry, I'll even say call it July at the latest. So it's been 3 months of sustained good play. This is no longer like, oh, this is a hot streak. No.
Now, do you credit Grimace or Haktua for the success?
Ooh, it's tough. It's tough. Grimace was so there's so many good vibes going on. There's our second baseman Iglesias, who has got the "Oh My God" song in the summer, just popping, and like they got that vibe going. But Grimace started this whole thing. Grimace started the whole like turnaround. It happened when he came in. So it's got to be Grimace season. Haktua did her part though. She did her part. She got involved, and we were going for a little lull. Haktua brought us back up, and we rode it the rest of the way, man. The vibes the rest of the way.
I remember hearing on the radio when they were ripping the Mets' decision to bring Haktua out there. And we're like, read the effing room. Like, you think Mets fans want to hear from this girl right now? Like,
yeah.
And then,
dude, we have fun.
Since then, it's kind of been lights out. But she tried to take credit for the success.
I know. Take a step back there, Haktua.
Yeah, chill. At least Grimace is at the games.
Right. We'll allow you to pitch. It was fun, but let's not go ahead and take credit now.
You know what's crazy? That her name will forever be Haktua. Like
I know. I don't even know.
Here lies Haktua. Like, yo, that's just gonna be crazy. Like, dude, I don't want to be known for that. But
for
shout
real,
out
though,
to her.
Someone's gonna marry a girl known for slobbing on the knob.
It's gonna take a special someone.
He's gonna be like, "Oh, she's not that great." Like imagine, like, what? Like, bro,
man. She's got a lot to live up to. You're right.
Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, right.
What is she? Pretty high. Like, it's pretty damn high, Haktua. I just want you to know. Like,
some people are good coaches. Some people are good coaches, and some people are good players. She might be a good coach, but she might not be a good player.
Imagine one of your friends starts dating Haktua. Like after a week, they're gonna be like, so.
I know. I would. Listen.
Let's
just say one of you guys was single, wasn't married, right? And you bring over Haktua. I'm like, yo, bro. So does she Haktua? Like, you gotta ask, like, right?
I'd be like, all right, let's get this out of the way. I'm gonna say this once.
It's gonna be great. But guys, really quick, man, we forgot to pay the bills. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy.
Yes.
Wow. Shout out to you guys who use promo code Revival. They will match a deposit by half up to $250. Underdog Fantasy, please download the app today. Use promo code Revival. That's right, guys. Revival. They'll match your deposit by half up to $250. And don't forget, this show is also brought to you by our Revivalist of the Month, Bill Hartnett. Bill Hartnett in the building. Shout out Bill Hartnett. We appreciate you, man. And of course, we got a new Revivalist of the Month coming soon. Stay tuned. All that great stuff. But shout out, man. Also, I want to go through, man, just really quick live score of the New York Liberty game. They're up by 5 points right now. They're also up 1 game right now. So New York is killing it. Shout out to the Liberty. Let's go, ladies. WNBA doing their thing, killing it. Let's go, ladies, man. But guys, I want to talk about a couple things too. Boy, what a blockbuster trade. And I've been so torn between this trade, guys. Maybe somebody can talk me off the ledge, or maybe somebody can put some words of wisdom here to me, man. But of course, the Knicks, of course, got Karl Anthony Townsend, which is the freaking cat over there, man. But they got rid of DiVincenzo and freaking Julius Randle, both out New York City, and also a first-round pick they sent over there to get Cat. I just want to get your thoughts about it, man. And I'm gonna start with El Jefe on this one, man, because of course we're all huge Knicks fans here, right? But because Speed converted over last year. I'm just saying,
freshly new, but
he did
equally passionate.
He converted.
But let me get your thoughts on this, man. What do you think about that trade, brother?
Hot and cold about it. You know what I mean? Like, we needed a big, desperately needed a big. They're very hard to come by. Like, getting guys that can compete at that level. You want to have an answer for Joel Embiid, right? Mitchell ain't it. He's hurt for the first who knows how long of the season. So it's like you can't have nobody at center. Like, you need a real center. Then I heard people talking like, oh, you could just put Randall at the 5. Like, no, he is not a 5. Like, Embiid would absolutely eat him up like he does most true centers in the NBA. Yeah. So I like it from the perspective of, okay, you got a big now to work that pick and roll game that opens up a lot. And Randall was kind of like on the fence in terms of whether Knicks fans really wanted him to be part of this. He obviously missed the whole run last year, which was pure fucking magic, which brings me to the point of like, so much of that magic was the camaraderie of what they had with the Villanova guys. And now you're adding some more pieces. I am upset to see DiVincenzo go. And it's not that he's a superstar, as Eli would say. Don't get it twisted. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he was a knockdown 3 guy who probably gave us the best Knicks individual moment in the last 20 years with that 3, that on home, that home playoff 3. That moment was something that Knicks fans will never forget. But he's also plays hard as hell. Good defender. You know what I mean? And he's a dog. He's not a superstar. I'm not saying that, but he's a dog, and he's a phenomenal role player. He's already won a championship. Like, he's a dude that you want on your team. So, if you get Cat in here and big men get hurt and Cat misses 2 months and all of a sudden you can't find a perimeter shooter, you're going to be like, fuck, what happened to the magic the Knicks had? So I'm hot and cold on it. I hope, obviously, that it works out, but I'm not like over the moon championship right now.
And you know what? And I'm going to piggyback, and Speed will get your thoughts on it too. But when it comes to Devo, right, the guy got heart. Like you said, the perfect role player of a guy's coming off the bench that's going to give you that extra effort, that's going to give you a little bit of that extra points. It's just, now, who do you have? You look at it, you go, McBride, maybe. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, who's going to be, like, maybe McBride could come to the perfect 6 man. We don't know. But I look at Cat, right? And I go, yes, big man, I get it. He can knock down threes. He's giving you Julius Randle vibes. But the one thing that I'll say is that he's just soft. Like, to me, he just doesn't have that killer instinct. So for Milwaukee, just to give him up for Julius Randle, watch. I think Julius Randle, it depends on which Julius Randle you're going to get, right? It was always, man, you're going to get the motivated Julius Randle, or you're going to get the Julius Randle that is just exhausted most of the time.
That doesn't play defense. Yeah.
Right. Cat can give you a little bit of that, but it's just, he doesn't have that Mamba mentality to me. Like, he could go, and he relies on the 3 too much. Like, I want him to go to the paint and create your shot more than I'm worried about you shooting the 3 at this point. Can you do that? Julius Randle could have offered you that. He will offer you that. I just don't know if Cat can. Now, this is why I'm like so about it, because I'm like, man, I don't know. I need DiVincenzo. I need Devo back there to give that extra vibe back there, to give that extra oomph. So to miss that player is just like, damn it, that sucks. But I get the Julius Randle and Cat swap a little bit, because you're getting a guy that can score a little bit more, guy maybe that can give you a little more consistency as far as playing in Cat. I get that. But man, I want a Devo so damn bad. But like you said, you put him at the 5. I don't know. I think Mitchell's going to be the 5, and you could put him at the 4 as far as Cat. And he could come off and still shoot the threes and etc. and still do the paint, while you still have the big man in Robinson that's going to hopefully hold the paint down and going to give you the my man Joel Embiid is going to and hopefully stop him if he's not injured enough.
Well, that's
I
nice
think they need another big man.
OG can do the 3 or the 4. OG, you can move around.
Right.
But I think the one thing that's a benefit, and you have good points about him being soft and all that, but the culture is set here, right? Like we know whose show this is. He's not coming in to be a diva. Like he's coming in to fit what is already working. And so you got to hope that he understands what the expectations are, and that, go Knicks.
High expectations. But listen, you guys are underselling a little bit here. Let me walk you guys off a cliff. All right. Let me walk you guys off a cliff here. You're getting a 2-time All NBA player, a guy that averages 23 points a game, shot 41%. Yeah, I know he takes a lot of threes, but when you're shooting 41% from threes,
it's a good clip.
You can do that. You can do that. So any bit of 3-pointers that you're losing from Devo, you're gaining with Cat. And let me tell you another thing. He spreads the floor so much better. For this team that's a passing first team that looks to shoot, there's no Randall clogging up the middle. There's no, there's theoretically no Mitch. If you go small ball lineup with OG, him as your 5, OG at your 4, and you got Bridges and Brunson and whoever else you want to throw in there, that's a fucking good lineup, bro. That's a really good lineup, and you could play with anybody with that lineup, defensively and offensively. So. I understand Randall set the tone here. He deserves a lot of credit for changing the culture again. He's kind of like Carmelo in that sense, or no, Amari in that sense, that he came here and they changed the culture and they started winning a little bit afterwards. And he might not see the fruition of it on the backside, but I am thankful for what Randall did. As a new Knicks fan, but they survived without him last year. We saw it. And they can survive again without him.
On the wall.
They thrive.
Yeah.
They thrive.
Yeah. And listen, you're gaining a very good offensive player, like I said, in Cat. He's soft. That might come back to bite them, but I think you're truly upgrading from Randall to him. Now, Devo, it sucks. I understand that, but let's think about two. I want to throw 2 more things at you here. Randall was an impending free agent. He wasn't going to get paid. So that's a reason why they easily got rid of him, because someone's got to pay Randall now, and it just wasn't going to happen with the Knicks. Now, secondly, to that, Devo was minutes were going to go down pretty significantly with Mikal Bridges here, and he stated that he was angry about that. Now, I know it's tough, and to become a 6-man, everybody else is starting. You got to take a roll back. It might not have been a thing, but it might have been a thing. So there a little bit of you avoided confrontation or any kind of drama by letting go of Devo, and you could replace hustle much easier than you could replace skill. So what you need to find now is a grinder who goes out and does what Devo did for cheap, or even you can find 2 players to do what he did. What you can't find is a replacement for a kind of star talent like Cat is. Cat is a star talent. It's a home run swing. If it works, it brings you a championship. You are a championship level team right now. If it doesn't,
are they Smee? Really? Are they really?
100%. This vaults them right to the same level as Boston. They are right there now, like without a doubt.
Wow.
Without a doubt, I'm telling you, Cat is that kind of player. He's soft. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I don't know. He's from Jersey. Maybe a change of series, coming back home will do better for him. But if things go well, he's the kind of player that could change a fucking team around and it'd be that next piece that this team needs.
I enjoyed that rant by Spiro. I needed to hear that rant. And you brought up one thing, that in the way he spreads the floor, right? So if he likes to hang out on the 3-point line, the big man guarding him has got to come out if he can hit the three, which means
Yes.
the key is
Here's
open for
another.
Brunson to drive the lane, which he
Boom.
loves to do. And so it can work. And I hope Thibodeau is dreaming up how to make this all work. And I want to see how Bridges like works in this.
Dude,
you know,
That's what I
It'd be
want to
awesome.
see. That's what I want to see.
Bridges,
That was a
you
good
got
one.
so your starting lineup now is Brunson, Hart or Bridges at 2, and you switch whoever the other person to 3, and then OG and then Cat. That's a nice, athletic, fast shooting lineup that could do, and Hart makes up for the rebounds that he's smaller, but he gets more rebounds than his size
Right.
would normally get. Then OG gets that. KT can get rebounds. So you got length there, and you're still playing small ball being quick. It's gonna work better. It's a better fit.
How is Cat as a defender?
He's not like gonna blow your socks off defensively. What they need is another big man. They need because Mitchell is so injury prone that you need someone that's gonna be there. So I would, if I'm the Knicks, what I'm looking for is another big man, just in case, a big body that can rebound, play defense. You can find those guys again. Like, you're not looking for scoring; you need rebounds and defense, and then you got to find right. And then you got to find a grinder that can shoot off the bench, and it's like a 6th, 7th man. Those are 2 spots you need to fill. But you could trade for that at the trade deadline if you need to. And if this guy Kolick, who they drafted from Marquette, he's a shooter. He might be able to get to at least take on some of DiVincenzo's shooting. So I think we got something going on here. I think it's good.
The chat is going nuts, by the way.
Bro, I know.
Shout out TK.
It's the first thing I thought of when I saw
that was hilarious.
Hartnett's comment. I'm like,
that was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie.
But
guys, really quick, man, we'll move along. Of course, the Giants, man, got the Seahawks. 4:25 p.m. on a Sunday. Wow, I actually get to. I haven't missed the game yet, but shockingly, thanks to my schedule. But 4:25 p.m. Sunday, man. The Giants is at the Seattle over there, and I gotta ask you, man, is there any chance we even beat this team? And I'll start Mr. Glass half full. I don't know, Speed.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think I don't know, man. I think I really want Phillips back. I really want Phillips back or Adoree Jackson. It would be really nice if they're back.
Please.
I need Neighbors obviously to play, and he'll have 10 days. Which I don't know what kind of concussion is. I don't know if you guys saw any updates with those players. Seattle's not great. I'm not gonna go and kiss the boots of Seattle. They just got smoked, by Detroit Lions. They're good. They're a very good team. They're not great. We could be. I truly do believe we could be in any game right now, but it's what this team keeps finding ways to lose. Can you guys? Losing is a drug, and they're addicted to it right now. They cannot get out of their own way. So until they start winning, no, I don't have them for a win. I don't have them for a win.
Yo, you know what? Not for none. Let me just address this really quick, man, because I've seen this, man. This is. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I gotta find it. This is why these guys do this stuff. Honestly, no lie. If DJ loses again, do we start lock next week? That's a good question, and I'm gonna ask you El Jefe on that one, and I'm gonna give my thoughts, man. If they lose, do you pull a trick? Like, do we sit down DJ and just start lock at this point?
I'm gonna assume no, because they keep doubling down on him. So if he's playing like he has the last 2 games, which is like technically clean ball,
fine.
If he's not, he hasn't been week 1 Daniel since. So if he continues to play like this, they're not going to bench him because they think they're close and they love Daniel Jones.
I agree. Just to answer that really quick, I agree. He's just playing too well. And again, I know the touchdowns aren't there, but he's not turning the ball over.
Yeah, he's not playing bad enough. He's just not playing well enough either. This is called quarterback hell.
Yes. Yo, listen, we're not going to get into it because a lot of people gave us hell for going in and leaning into Daniel because they think he had a great game. He had a good game. He didn't have a great game. He had a good game. But to answer that question, no, he's been playing too good of a football. I don't know, but he's been playing well enough to keep his starting job. I don't see it. I do understand people say, what about that contract if he gets hurt? You put him out there until he does. You know what I mean? Hopefully he can win you some games. But I just think we're in better position. This is crazy to say, to win a game with Daniel Jones starting at this point. But Speed, what's your thoughts?
I mean, listen, We came off a little harsh on Daniel. I get it.
Yeah,
This is the guy. This is the guy he is. We can't fault a guy for being who he is. And like he's not. He never has been accurate. He's never thrown anticipation. And I don't know why we thought he could. And maybe the injury thing on the deep balls is a thing. Maybe he just doesn't have that knee strength that he needs to throw a deep pass. I don't know what it is. Regardless, it's just, again, we said it. He's good. He's just not good enough. He's not good enough to take an okay team and drag them to a couple wins. And that's the problem. And that's because right now we're
what are we, Spee? Oh,
listen,
damn.
the throws are there.
Okay.
There are throws to be had. There's Slayton throws. There's neighbor throws. There's shit. There's throws to be had. But like, no. I froze up. I think.
No, you're good. You're probably on the delay. Yeah, you're good though.
Yeah, it just sucks because this is not the team we have. And you know what? At what point though does he become attractive to anybody else? Like after, because the big numbers of the salary, like you think there's any chance anybody would trade for him, a game manager?
No, unless a Brock Purdy goes down, unless Jalen Hurts goes down, then yeah.
Look at Miami though. Like what? That's like we're watching horrific quarterback play. I think Daniel Jones on a team that has some talent around him could game manage his way to a couple wins, right? Like he's a new bridge quarterback for other teams once he leaves here, probably, right?
Let me ask you this as far as his deep ball, right? Because Darius Slayton has said is a very low percentage that deep balls get completed anyway.
In New York, yeah.
And I'm about to say, I mean, listen, just Googling, right? Anything above 20 yards anything above 40 yards have a 20% chance of being completed. But you got to look at it. And I was like, you know what? Who's throwing deep balls at high accuracy? Freaking Jaden Daniels is like number one with 82.1%, a rookie throwing deep balls.
And they're averaging 30 points a game. This is
and look at Daniel Jones dead last at 63.2% of deep.
We know he's not going to hit on them all, dude.
But here's the thing, though, right? We understand he's not going to hit on him. We understand the percentage is small. But if you got somebody coming in like a Geno Smith hitting with a 72, David Carr 72, Jared Goff 71, these guys, their percentage is pretty high. Why? Because timing and etc. And they have the arm strength. They have the talent to give you the ball. This shows Daniel Jones just doesn't have the arm strength. Something's wrong here. Something's just not adding up at this point.
Yeah, it's just he's just off. He's just slightly off on everything. The ball isn't where it needs to be. Isn't it the speed that it needs to be sometimes? It's just
look, guys, we've covered this, right?
Yeah. Let me say this, guys.
I'll tell you what Vegas thinks. Yeah. Vegas is giving the Giants 6 points, which I'm surprised because you get 3 points for being a home team, right? Right. So they're kind of saying Seahawks are going to win by 3. Is this what
I'm telling you? It's a pretty winnable. It's not winnable, but like Seahawks aren't this great team. Their defense is okay. Their offense is good. The
problem is that their strength goes right at our weakness. Deontay Banks has been getting absolutely chewed up this year. And do you think DK Metcalf, JSN, Lockett, we have no answer for we couldn't guard one of those guys. They got 3 of them.
Yeah. And you know what? And it's funny because, like you said, man, I want to go back because I think I just put it in here too. I think as far as our guy Deontay Banks, his passer rating, I believe, when they're throwing to him is 134. That's insane. I think it's the highest in the league at this point as far as rating allowed. So Deontay Banks has been getting absolutely cooked out there.
I mean, look who he's playing though. Can we throw him a little bone here? Like he went through Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Terry McLaurin. Those are.
But
if he's supposed to be the lockdown corner,
he's not. But he's not that.
He's being asked to be.
Yeah, he's being asked. He's the 25th pick of the first round, and he's good. I think he's good. I think like we would be okay if he was a very good CB2, which I think he can be. But he's being asked to be a CB1 in year 2. In a system that doesn't fit him as good as he fit in Wink's
not like Wink. Yeah, not like Wink. Wink wanted him for a reason. Tough. Yeah.
We're throwing him to the fucking wolves, man. I don't know. It sucks.
But let me say this. If the Giants lose again, who's on the trading block at this point? Are you guys looking at a Darius Slayton? You guys looking at a Tommy DeVito? is like, do we clean house? Because again, if this is supposedly a winnable game, I don't think. Listen, Speed, have we predicted? I don't think that. I think the Giants they're going to lose a bunch of games here. I'm not going to lie. I think they're going to lose the next 2 games here. But at this point, once they lose, you guys are looking, okay, who to trade for some more draft picks? Because obviously we got some holes here. And I'm going to start with Hef here. Who you trading? Like, are you anybody's like on the trading block at this point?
Yeah, the worst thing they did last year was not move Saquon or McKinney, knowing they didn't want to pay them. In a lost season, you got to sell your assets and think about tomorrow. And they didn't do that. And it fucked us, right? And so don't do the same thing. So now you have less value. You don't have Saquon and McKinney on this team. Slayton's name keeps getting thrown around there. Kansas City is desperate for wide receiver depth right now. I would be willing to deal Slayton. It's not that he's a good player. He's a B player. But the fact is he's not being used enough, right? Neighbors is absolutely crushing in terms of target, receptions, yards, everything. He's absolutely murdering it. But Wan'Dale, outside of week 2, has gotten 8, 10, and 12 targets. Slayton is getting minimal targets with bad drops and 0 production. Like he's not so unbelievable that you can't move on from him. He's out of contract after this year. Get Jalen Hyatt out there. If you're going to lose with Slayton, get a draft pick and lose with fucking Hyatt, a guy that we haven't seen do anything. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Get Hyatt out there. Move Darius Slayton if you can. Like, stop doubling down on what doesn't work. Enough.
I agree. Speak.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, if you talk about tradable assets, it's really not much, right? It's either Darius Slayton or Jalen Hyatt has to go. Whatever, honestly, whichever is going to net you back a higher pick. It's just, I don't want to give up on Jalen Hyatt because I think he's got a lot more potential here. But if he nets you back a 4th round pick and Darius Slayton gets you a 5th, I'll trade Hyatt at this point. Like I'm not tied to anybody here. Aziz maybe he's starting to turn up a little bit. Maybe you get somebody that needs an edge, right? I don't want to trade DeVito because I think that ultimately he might come into fruition. Like if Daniel Jones gets hurt, which I don't want to say he usually does, but like it's a likely scenario, or they do the injury clause thing, then you only have 2 quarterbacks left,
and you're fucked.
And then it's really bad. So just keep those guys. But for me, it's one of the receivers or Aziz. Those are the big names.
Yeah. Who else is out of contract next year that even fits? Like Saquon,
there's nobody that really fits the bill.
Saquon and McKinney were ideal candidates to move.
Yeah.
Positions that the Giants don't want to pay. You had prime players. You see the damage that they're doing on their respective teams right now. Those were ideal candidates to trade, and you could have got way better draft capital than you're going to get for Slayton or Hyatt.
Yeah,
totally agree. And you know what? I like the way you guys said, "Hey, I'll trade him. So I'm going to be the bad guy here. I'm going to convince you guys why we can't trade him at this point. Okay, why the hell not? Right? Why not play devil's advocate here? But looking at Darius Slayton, right? Veteran on the team, been here for extreme amount of years. We get it. Most consistent player on the Giants, especially when his back is against the wall, you'll see him turn up a little bit. So I think he understands the drops that he has in critical situations. Some of them are in question. We're not going to go after the quarterback. We did all that Friday. But of course, right? But yes, I think Darius Slayton can actually turn this thing around a little bit. And I think the reason why he starts over Hyatt is because it's simple. Hyatt's just not ready. The guy's just a straight line runner. You throw him the ball. If he can catch it. And guess what? That's something Daniel Jones just can't do right now for his type of speed. While you have Darius Slayton that could play a little bit towards the within the 10-yard line, and he could give you that top off speed as well. And hopefully you can throw it to him over the top. But that's something Hyatt can't do. He can't do those intermediate passes for you at this point, right? His route tree is just a little bit limited. So I think Darius Slayton should stay throughout the season unless he gets extremely hot, because right now the Giants still feel like they can win some games. But if they start to lose these next 2 games, then yes, you could say fire sale. Everybody got to go, right, at this point. But at this point, they got to keep Darius Slayton on this roster. There's no other receiver, especially Hyatt, which he's in competition with, that can actually make this happen here, in my opinion.
And you're right. Sorry, real quick on what he said. Slayton is our third best receiver. There's not much else after that. So
No.
we're trading away our wide receiver 3. If you get one injury to the top 2 guys, you're up shit's creek. So I understand.
Without a paddle.
Dude, I mean, your next 2 games are against Seattle and Cincy, who can both put up points. And then it's Philly. These are all terrible matchups because we're not a shootout team. And
Philly
our defense
stinks, though. Philly stinks.
Yeah,
right
but they're
now.
still
But
way
they'll
better
have,
than
they'll
we are.
have A.J. Brown. They'll have A.J. Brown back.
They might have both receivers back.
Yeah.
But if you bring up that schedule once more, right? You got Cincy and you have, next week Seattle, right? Or this week Seattle. Winnable games. I'm with Speed. You can definitely win these 2 games, and then you're kind of back in a hunt to win. And Philly still, their back is against the wall, right? So anything can happen there, right?
We can lose any one of those games, and we can win.
But I think we can win them, right? I think
Yes.
just looking at how the teams are unfolding right now, we can win these games. We can win these next 3. I think so.
Listen,
it's possible.
As down as we are on this team, we won the Cleveland game and had every single chance to win that Dallas and Washington game. And Washington, by all accounts, is a very good team, right? They beat Cincinnati. And we had them dead to rights if we had a fucking kicker. And then Dallas, we had them. There's plays left on the field that could have been made. There's things that could have been done to win that game, easily winnable. And in Minnesota, look at Minnesota's loss now. That Minnesota loss looks a lot better at this point. They're beating legitimate teams. Yeah. I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. This
team hasn't been as bad as it looked. There's plays that could have been made, and this team could easily be 3-1. Sure, we could also be 1-3. We could have lost the Cleveland game, of course, but we're in every game except the Minnesota game. So
this is a really good point by our guy Richard here.
That's what it is. It's true.
Yeah. There is you can't afford a penalty on a drive or the drive's over. You can't
miss a throw.
You go 3rd and long, drive's over. When on defense, it seems like teams just pick them up at will. So the Giants are not a team that can afford to do anything but perfect ball, which is just not a way you can win games. So how do they all of a sudden start to light up the scoreboard? Your guess is as good as mine.
You hit some fucking deep balls.
Let me ask you,
one deep ball.
That's the thing. Daniel Jones, they just got to play lights out, man. They just got to play lights out. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. Just got to play lights out, man, unfortunately. And this team cannot overcome penalties. They can't beat themselves. They just can't do it. But I want to ask you this, man. Malik Neighbors fined for his dance. Looks a little crazy to some people. $28K. I just want to get you, man, your thoughts on that, man, being fined for that dance, because it is a dance. We get it.
It's a thing.
But do you understand where it's coming from, man? And I'm gonna start with Hef on that one.
I just think it's kind of crazy because he's like arriving on the scene as a budding star, right? Like right before our eyes. And Roger Goodell is like, oh, another star. That's more money, more revenue, more jerseys.
Right.
Let's fine him. Let's piss him off.
Dude.
And it's like, why? Like, I didn't even remember seeing that dance.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was hardly on TV. Like, okay, learning lesson for Neighbors. That's a slap on the wrist for the kind of money these guys are making. But it just seemed unnecessary to me. That's all.
Speak.
Yeah, no fun league doing no fun league things, right? Like they just want their pound of flesh. They want to stay relevant. It's just annoying.
Why don't you focus on the kickoffs?
Yeah,
the kickoffs instead of how one of your stars is scoring touchdowns.
Yeah,
there's so many other bad. Like if you're worried about setting a bad influence for kids, take care of all the off-field stuff. How about that? You clean that shit up first, and not a couple of TD celebrations, which kids fucking love and it's fun. And the priorities, as always, are in the wrong fucking place.
Guys, I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole.
Uh-oh.
Just give me a second.
Give
me a second. It's probably forgive me, but here's the thing. All right. Here's the thing. I do get it, and I understand what the gesture is and how it could offend people.
Sure.
But I don't blame that on the player. I don't blame that on the league. I blame that for the parents at home who can't have those tough and difficult conversations with their child and say, hey, that's just a dance. It's solely for entertainment. Don't go and get the object that he's referring to and try that in the streets.
Unless
don't
you
do
just scored a touchdown.
Right? Do that when you go score a touchdown. Right? So I blame parenting. And parenting, unfortunately, has the NFL doing the not so fun stuff. because everybody's like, oh, not my child, but then freaking tell your child not to do it. It's just that simple,
Boom.
right? If you
Boom.
listen, my daughter loves hip-hop music, loves it. And then once she got introduced to it, the first thing I told her was, none of that crap is true. It's for entertainment purposes. If you have any
Yeah.
questions regarding a line, anything, please come to me. We share information about hip hop all the time. She never once tried to go do that crap because why? We had that conversation. You know what I mean? Like you gotta parent these kids these days. So as far as the NFL finding that young man, listen, I get it. Doesn't make it right though. But the kid is just dancing, man. He's having a good time. It's just a gesture. I get it can offend some people. But, man, we are known in America for carrying all types of guns out here and all this stuff. So now we offended now that a player does it and there's nothing in his hand. I'm just saying. Y'all got to relax, man.
Can I take it? Can I take it another step?
Please.
I just think it's completely fucking hypocritical of the NFL to say, hey, we'll shove beer commercials down your face, and you can learn about erectile dysfunction between every turnover and touchdown. More commercials about that. That's fine.
Like,
gambling.
Gambling.
Shove it down your throat.
And it's like it's nothing you don't see in every music video. You can get it's on YouTube. It's everywhere. And you're allowed to celebrate group celebrations. We can bring those back, but you can't celebrate the way we don't like. And it's like, come on, man, just loosen up a little bit. Like it's just a little ridiculous.
I totally agree. And guys, I just want to go around the league really quick because this was crazy. And shout out to Xland that we saw this from. But these guys were drafted in the same draft class. And to see these guys come up and continue to do their thing, I want to pin them against each other because one was the number 1 overall, and I believe the other one was the 2nd overall in the first round, right? It was back-to-back. One went to the Jets, the other one went to Cleveland. And I just got to ask this, man, who is the better quarterback right now that time has passed and you're seeing them kind of ball out? Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield, man? And anybody get in here. Yeah, whoever could go. Shoot out here.
I mean, listen, it's awesome. I would say this. I was a big Sam Darnold guy coming out of college. If the Giants were picking a quarterback and they chose Saquon Barkley, which led their franchise into a different direction, I wanted Sam Darnold. So I thought he always got the short end of a stick in New York with the Jets, who put shit offense behind shit offense behind shit offense in front of him. And, he goes to somewhere that he goes to somewhere where he could thrive under a good offensive coordinator with weapons. And you're seeing the best of Sam Darnold now. I think he has the higher upside. I like what he could do. He has the high end skills. Baker Mayfield, he just has that it factor. Baker just gets it done. He'll run you over for a first down if he needs to. He'll run around you. He'll throw a dime down the field. He does whatever it takes, and he's got that it factor going, that magic going. So good for him. I didn't like him coming out of college. He was on the opposite end of the spectrum, but good for him for reforming his career and doing what it takes to win. And he's a winner. He's a winner, and you can see it in him. So I give kudos to both, but for me, I'll take Sam Darnold because I love this kid's traits, and I think he just has that little bit higher ceiling.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
What about you guys? Let's hear it. I want to hear it.
Please.
I put them in the same bucket, ability-wise. I think they're kind of on similar levels, so this is a good debate. But I would go Baker. If these two guys, and I got first pick, and those are the two options, like I think I can win with Baker. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's just like you said, you kind of said it for me. That it factor. Not to say that Baker would have succeeded in New York because he wouldn't, just like he didn't succeed in Cleveland. Like situation is obviously important. But like I'll take Baker, the kind of leader he is. I'd rather play with Baker, so I'm picking Baker.
Okay, fair.
All right. So listen, man, here comes me. All right.
Tiebreaker.
The tiebreaker. All right.
The voice.
Chat, tell us who you want.
Yeah, chat, tell us who you got to, man. Get in here. But listen, looking at these two quarterbacks, right, they obviously have two different skill sets. The one thing that I like about Sam Darnold is his mechanics. The way he releases the ball just looks quick, looks clean, looks fluent. I love the way he throws the ball. And I loved him on it, like coming out of college, the way the Jets were picking him up. I was like, man, this guy's going to be a good quarterback. But the Jets, they always do this all the time with their quarterback. And we could go down that rabbit hole another time. But looking at Baker Mayfield, I hated the way his mechanics were. The way he threw the ball was just ugly. It wasn't fluent at all. I couldn't stand his attitude at all. But I have to say this. Time has passed. And I have to say Baker Mayfield is a bona fide winner. I think he could do more with less at this point. I don't think Sam Darnold's going to elevate the team at this point. But I think Baker Mayfield's going to be the guy, like you said, that's going to truck people, get that first down. He's going to come in and command that locker room and be that energy to winning football. And I have to admit, his mechanics got a little bit better too. He still looks ugly throwing the ball, but he releases that ball a whole lot quicker now than what I used to seeing him in his rookie years coming into the league. I was like, man, I hate his mechanics. But looking at him and finally looking at a Tampa Bucks, I'm like, man, this is crazy how he helped his mechanics out. He releases the ball cleaner. Looks nice. Not as good as Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, I still think takes the cake in that. But he looks like a good bona fide quarterback, and that winning mentality is it. There's not much quarterbacks that have that. I think our quarterback, unfortunately, doesn't have that. I don't think Sam Darnold has that personality. Baker Mayfield does. Now, again, can it lead to a Super Bowl? I don't know, but he could definitely take them deep into a playoffs, I think. He's just that bona fide winner. I think they need a couple of more pieces to help him because his talent is limited. Don't get me wrong. But I'll definitely choose Baker Mayfield over Sam Darnold any day.
I think Sam Darnold is probably the better, like, pure quarterback. But but Baker's it factor is is why this is a good conversation.
Hey, I want to ask you about one more quarterback here that wasn't on your list here. Let's talk about our division rival, Jalen Hurts. What are your thoughts? Are your thoughts changing on him? What did your thoughts were? What were your thoughts before last year? And then now, what are your thoughts now? Have they changed? Are you out on Jalen Hurts? Do you think he's a good quarterback or not? If you put him on the Giants win. Are they any better?
You know what it is? I think it's a product with Jalen Hurts coming in and him being so good at that particular year. What was it, second year or first year where they made it to the Super Bowl, something like that?
It's actually his third year. It was his third year because his second year was progress. His first year wasn't much of anything. Third year, he had that MVP-like year.
You know what it was? A product of coaching coming in and the building cleaning up at the right time. So when you have somebody that just electrifies you and pushes you and motivates you a little bit different, that has a new face and a new voice, you'll kind of rise to the occasion. Some players just do that. And I think he just caught lightning in the bottle that year. But looking at Jalen Hurts now, I don't say he's a bad quarterback. It's just something's going on there in Philly that I'm not really sure about. You know what I mean? Because you got the running back to help him out, right?
He's doing great.
Has it been working? You know, as far as Jalen Hurts, I don't know. It's hard to tell how good he is as a quarterback. And again, I think they got to Saquon to run those RPOs to get him to his trait of running the ball, and they're still not doing that pretty well. So they're forcing him to throw, and it's just like it's just not enough. So I think the jury is still out, which is kind of crazy to say. And the reason why I'm not giving up on him,
a lot of money,
right?
Paid a lot of money, just like DJ.
True, but the reason why I'm not giving up on him just yet because he took his team to the promised land already. You know what I mean? He took his team.
One time.
It's cool. That holds a lot of weight. You know, in Philly, especially.
Daniel Jones won a playoff game too. Jalen Hurts won one more playoff game.
He took his team to the bowl. Like, you know what I mean? Like Daniel Jones ain't taking us to the bowl. Let's be honest.
No, I hear you. But I'm just saying, like, we're talking about one good season out of 4 now, or 5. Sorry.
And again, compared to the rest of the quarterbacks, is it bottom tier? I mean, again,
it's not bottom tier.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not top tier, though.
It's not to what he's used to. Of course, the league catches up to you as far as film. But I just can't say he's completely a bum just yet. Like the season's still too early. It's still way too early for me.
I don't think he's not a bum. I think he's a good athlete and he's a good quarterback, but I think his success has largely been to a almost perfect situation roster wise. I mean, an unfair roster in 2022, the amount of talent, they should have won a Super Bowl that year and they ran into the best quarterback on the planet. And that's why they didn't, but they were right there. And I think Jalen Hurts was in the best possible situation, like Hall of Fame center, all pros all around you, two elite receivers. Like, So
Great
I
tight
think right
end.
now that they're asking him to do a little more, you're seeing him, come back down to earth because nobody does it all on their own, right?
Mhm.
And I think he had the most amount of help in the NFL in his best years, and now he's struggling a little because it's not the same anymore, and he has a shit coach.
Yeah, dog shit coach.
That's a
And,
fact.
I was talking shit to my Eagle fan brother-in-law, and he's like, "Well, he didn't have his top 2 wide receivers." It's like, yeah, well, that's if you need those two, the two one of the 2 best wide receivers in the league to be good, then why did they pay you all that money? It's the same conversation we have about Daniel Jones. If you can't elevate people, why are we paying you $40 million a year? For what? So, and I know the offensive scheme might not be helping, Hurts right now or whatever it is, but hey, you got to elevate every once in a while, right? You got to elevate your people around you. You're not always
He
going to have
hasn't done that.
AJ Brown and
Yeah.
Devontae Smith. You're not always going to have that. You're not going to have Barkley. Barkley's leading the league in rushing right now. It's not like he's got no help on the ground. He's still got a good offensive line. It's I don't know.
You know what? You're right. Like he has to elevate. I don't see Jalen Hurts doing the things he did that year that they went to the Super Bowl. Like that guy was running.
No,
this guy was
doing
incompetent. Like
things.
exactly, like he wasn't doing the special things. Like he's not doing it, unfortunately. So that's why I'm like, man, is it the coach? Is it because I just can't say that
he's about to get a second coach fired, by the way. This is Doug Peterson and now Sirianni. We talk about Jones.
Jason DJ, yeah.
Talk about Jones. Jones firing all his coaches. I'm telling you, it's very not talked about here.
Then give me until half this football season.
Okay.
Let's revisit this one. This is a good conversation. I actually like this.
Dude, I mean, Dak got paid too, and you're talking about another coach that could be on the out there. I think Dak is better than Hurts and Daniel Jones, but
Dak will be on his third coach too.
But those are, I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is a great time for the Giants to take a step because Philly and Dallas look wounded. They're not the juggernauts that they were in recent years. Washington obviously is about to take off. So,
hey, little we had
revenge game.
It's Darnold revenge game. And you know what? It's funny because I the most Jet fans I talk to or I hear on the radio, they're kind of rooting for him. They know that he got the raw end of the deal. Darnold didn't do anything wrong in their eyes to them. He wasn't a dick about it, and they're actually openly rooting for him. So it's like,
dude, another parallel to the Giants situation. I think that's why we're so frustrated. And I'll go back to it. My thoughts on quarterback: if you can't make it work on his rookie deal, restart the clock.
Let him go.
Right?
Let him go.
Because
if you love him, let him go.
That would be like the Jets paying Sam Darnold all that money after he didn't succeed and just hoping that it magically changes. But what he needed was a new situation, a better coach, all of those things. So if Daniel Jones left after his rookie deal, which would have been basically impossible because he won that playoff game. But should he have left, I don't think Giants fans would hate him. They hate the fact that we paid him and you're not getting your money's worth. That's the frustration. And it's never actually about Daniel Jones, the person, because he's quiet and does nothing wrong. It's about him constantly being the quarterback while we lose most of our games.
Listen, that's like saying, right? Like your daughter brings home a guy. He's the nicest guy in the world, says all the right things, but he just doesn't have the job to support her. It's just like, right? It's like, no, go get your job, you bum. Go ahead and fight for a job and do your thing, you bum. I don't care how nice you are. Go freaking perform. You know what I mean? That's Daniel Jones. Go out there and work. Go perform, man. Do your job, man. Jeez Louise. I don't care how nice you are anymore. You're smart. Just go play football, man. But guys, of course, man, it is 9:30. We got to head out because, it's been a long day for all of us here, man. Shout out to the Revivalists, man. Shout out to the 386 people that are watching. Shout out to our sponsors, Underdog Fantasy. That's right. If you download the app today, use promo code REVIVAL. They will match your deposit by half up to $250. I think they increased that. We got to talk to our guy, by the way. I think they might have increased that, by the way. We'll double check. But shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Don't forget to use promo code REVIVAL. They'll match your deposit up by half up to $250. So sign up today. Use promo code REVIVAL. And, of course, man, this is brought to you by Revivalists of the Month, Bill Hartnett. Round of applause.
Hey, also shout out to we didn't mention it, but shout out to the Yankees too. We didn't mention the New York Yankees are just sitting there with a bye.
Well, we waited all year for this moment for the Yankees.
Yeah, this is nothing else matters. E, I think you're talking. Is E talking and not? Are you hearing him?
Or maybe he's just moving his lips.
E, we lost you for a second. I cut you off, and now we totally lost his voice.
On behalf of my, I want him to come back.
I know. Well, let's wait. Let me stall a little bit long. Whoever wins the KC Baltimore series, Yankees just sitting back waiting. It doesn't matter really again until they get to the World Series. But it's starting to. Houston just lost their first game in the Detroit series. That's the bug. That's the boogeyman waiting, right?
Who lost?
So,
Who lost?
Houston lost their first game in Detroit. If Houston's out of the picture, Baltimore's out of the picture. Maybe, who knows?
That's big.
I mean, it's
now.
scared.
Hopefully,
E,
my hopefully my mic is back. Thank you.
you're back.
I don't know
At
what
the
happened.
buzzer. At the buzzer.
Oh, wait,
look at
what we got?
God, man.
Yes, the Daily
Bill
Precious.
Hartnett with the
Weekly
Daily
Precious.
Precious.
Oh, I love it.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you
Hey,
so
Bill,
much, Bill
It's
Hartnett.
never been
Way to
done.
save
It's
it.
never been
Way
done
to
before.
save it. Way to save it.
You saved it, brother. You saved
So
it. We love you, brother.
That's why he's the revivalist of the month.
The
Damn
bar,
right, man.
The bar is
But
set.
now it's a new month. It's a new month.
It's a new month. Who's going to take it? I mean, listen, he's been for 2 months in a row, I believe.
They call him
He's
Bill
been
the Bar Hartnett. That's what
Yeah,
they call him.
he sets
like
the
that.
tone. He sets the bar. So, guys, next week, I believe we have a guest speak. Right? Am I right? We have a guest
We
coming
do
on.
have a special guest. Should I tell him who it is, or should I hold off a little bit?
If
Yeah,
it's,
we'll hold
if
off
it's
for a bit.
at least, well, it's
So-
never official until they're here. So
Yes. Well, it's a big time ESPN personality. Jersey, one of Jersey's own. A big Jersey guy. I'll say the name. It's Chris Carlin. It's Chris Carlin from ESPN coming to join us. Talk New York sports. We're gonna talk baseball. We're gonna talk football. We're gonna talk basketball. We're gonna talk Rutgers football, who, by the way, is 4-0 and right in the thick of things in the NCAA footballs. So I'm ready to rock, baby. This is gonna be a fun conversation.
And guys, we are closing up another guest as well. We'll probably do 2 shows in that week or wait to the following, but we're closing up another guest. We'll announce that soon as well. We'll do it live for you guys. This way you can come in, ask your questions.
do
and
it
etc.
live.
Look after that.
Fuck
We're doing
it.
it live. We're doing it live.
Fuck it.
So, yes, on behalf of my brother, man, you guys know who they are, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full of Nets. Speak if you nasty now.
Let's go, Mets.
go Mets for Spiro. Go Mets for Spiro.
Let's go, Mets. And of course, my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka how do you do that?
I'm starting a new hashtag. Hashtag Mets for Spiro.
Let's go.
Just to bring him more
Hey, see, this is what we root for each other's teams here now.
Yes.
This is what we do.
Absolutely.
We love you, man. And of course, it's your boy Eli Rax, aka Vibes. We see you guys on the next one. Peace and blessings. Yes, sir. I'm tired today.
Mets for Spiro. Mets for Spiro.
New York Revival, I'm in the building.
Let's go.
Live with the Woodward Roar!
Let's go.